Good evening. My name is Lindsay Newman, and it is my privilege to welcome you to tonight's performance, Celebrating the Black Legacy. Director of tonight's show, Camryn Johnson, along with each individual committee, has worked diligently to create a visual representation of historical events dating back to the formation of African kingdoms to present day. On behalf of Camryn, myself, and the entire team, we sincerely thank you for being here tonight. At this time, we ask that you silence all cell phones and remain from the use of flash photography. We hope you enjoy the show and find meaning in the following scenes. Thank you.
The continent of Africa is recognized as the birthplace of humanity. Africa is credited for more than many scientific developments, engineering, mathematics, architecture, medicine, as well as political developments, such as forming states and monarchies. The kingdoms and empire of Africa are Mali, Songhai, Mutapa, Kush, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and Benin, were formed and spread across the continent and the globe and became the most influential African empires. On August 20th, 1619, a Dutch ship landed in Jamestown, Virginia, with 20 Africans aboard. Upon landing, they were stripped of human rights and enslaved as personal cattle. They was liable to be sold, mortgaged, or even leased at the will of their slaveholder. They were denied to own property, to vote, testify in court, travel, marry a white spouse, or even gather in large numbers.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. Gods are gonna trouble the water. See that band all dressed in white. Gods are gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like the Israelite. Gods are gonna trouble the water. Ooh, wade in the water. Oh, wade in the water. Children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble. Gods are gonna trouble the water.
In 1641, Massachusetts became the first North American colony to recognize slavery as a legal institution. On plantations, enslaved persons were used for a variety of tasks. Some of these tasks was cultivation of cotton and rice. Others worked as carpenters, waiters, cooks, housemaids, weavers, butchers, and blacksmiths. In 1793, Congress passed the first Fugitive Slave Act, making it a crime to shelter or enslave an escaped person, even interfere with an arrest. The act also allowed slave owners the power to seize and return escaped slaves back to their owners. The Underground Railroad was a network of people, homes, and hideouts enslaved persons used to escape from the South to the North of the United States. It was active from 1810 to 1860. Various people from different backgrounds worked as conductors and provided safety for those to stay on the route. Former slave Harriet Tubman escaped using the Underground Railroad and returned to help over 100,000 escaped persons.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Oh, yes, Lord. Sometimes I'm almost to the ground. Oh, yes, Lord.
When that Pharaoh chariot comes, I'm gonna leave you. I'm bound for the promised land. I'm gonna leave you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you. Farewell, oh farewell, but I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh farewell, I'll meet you in the morning. I'm bound for the promised land, on the other side of Jordan, bound for the promised land. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you. Farewell, oh farewell, but I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh farewell, oh, I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh farewell, oh, I'll meet you in the morning. I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy waters. You know I got a made up mind. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone. And I just might fail, but Lord knows I'll try. Shasters fill up the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
In 1777, the first African Baptist church was established in Savannah, Georgia. It is one of the oldest Baptist churches in North America. It is originally called the First Colored Church until 1822, and it was led by former slave Reverend George Leal. The congregation was mostly enslaved, and it was a safe place for the Underground Railroad. It served as the largest gathering place in Savannah, Georgia, both for black and white to meet.
Well, come on and put your hands together and give God a great big hand clap of praise. If you know that God has been good to you, you want to give God praise. David said, I will bless the Lord at all times. Psalm 100 says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Psalm 150 says, let everything that have breath praise ye the Lord. If you want to know in your body, you want to just shout and give God praise on God. Has he been good to you? Oh, come on, has he been good to you? Let me get y'all, has he been good to you? What about y'all over here? Has he been good to you? You want to just shout it? Come on, tell God, thank you. Yes, tell him thank you. Thank you, Jesus. You've been good.
my sin, raised me up again. Now I am a new creation. Grace empowering, love baptizing me. What a wonderful salvation. Take me, so amazing. Overtake me, so amazing. Oh, what a overtake me. Oh, what a song. Amazing. Oh, what a
After the Civil War ended in 1865, the outlawing of slavery of the United States of America began impeding strategies to helping newly freed slaves gain economic power, political power, and social rights. The Freedmen's Bureau was established to help freed blacks and poor whites. They provided food, housing, medical aid, established schools, offered legal assistance, employment, and many more. They helped in the efforts to pass and implement laws that ensured first-class citizenship for black Americans. After the 14th and 15th Amendments, black Americans became citizens. Black men were granted the right to vote. As a result, African Americans became involved in government. In 1869, Hiram Revels of Mississippi was elected to be the first African American senator. Other African American government representatives were Benjamin Turner, Josiah Wells, Joseph Rainey, Robert Elliott, Robert DeLarge, and Jefferson Long.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
After 1867, the number of violent Southern whites increased. The Ku Klux Klan and other white supremacist organizations targeted those who would challenge white authority. After the most disputed election in American history, the Compromise of 1877, an informal deal that resulted in the complete removal of the federal troops from the South, it effectively led to the end of the Reconstruction era and the disenfranchisement of African American voters in the South. The agreement enforced segregation and re-enslaved the black population by pushing black efforts for equality. Thomas Rice, a white actor, became famous by performing in blackface as Jim Crow, a highly exaggerated, stereotypical black character. By 1838, the name Jim Crow was used to describe segregation laws, rules, customs, and practices that began after the Reconstruction era all the way until 1960. Jim Crow laws enforced segregation in bus stations, elevators, amusement parks, phone booths, hospitals, even jails, cemeteries, and schools. It was common to see signs and posters warning people of color that they were not welcome inside of businesses or other facilities.
have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
It devastated me. It was just so painful to know that these girls were killed at church. They had not done anything to deserve something like that.
That was enough to pull people off the fence. Kids are supposed to be safe at church. This is not supposed to happen in America. We're above this kind of thing. And so this was the catalyst to get some things moving.
Congress passes the most sweeping civil rights bill ever to be written into the law, and thus reaffirms the conception of equality for all men that began with Lincoln and the Civil War 100 years ago. The Negro won his freedom then. He wins his dignity now. 5 hours after the House passes the measure, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is signed at the White House by President Johnson. Before an audience of legislators and civil rights leaders who had labored long and hard for passage of the bill, President Johnson calls for all Americans to back what he calls a turning point in history.
President Johnson sent the FBI and was briefed regularly by Director J. Edgar Hoover.
Apparently what's happened, these men have been killed. Well, now what would make you think they've been killed? Because of the fact that it is the same car that they were in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
The bodies of the three men would be found together 6 weeks later. The names Cheney, Goodman, and Schwerner joined those of more than 100 other victims, from Emmett Till to Jimmy Lee Jackson, whose deaths would be investigated again after the passing of a new federal law in 2006.
On March 7th, a group of 600, led by Representative John Lewis, attempted to march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, to advocate for voting rights and end of racial violence. Upon arriving at the Edmund Pettus Bridge, they were met by law officials who attacked them with nightsticks, tear gas, and whips. The day became known as Bloody Sunday and was broadcasted on television across the United States, and demonstrations were held across the nation. On March 21st, the second attempt to walk from Selma to Montgomery was led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and had as many as 25,000 people. These events led to Congress signing the Voting Rights Act of 1965, making it easier for African Americans to vote.
Walk with me, Lord, walk with me. Walk with me, Lord, walk with me. All along this tedious journey, I want Jesus to walk with me.
In October 1966, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense was founded in Oakland, California, by Huey Newton and Bobby Seale. Newton and Seale outlined the organization's views and objectives in a 10-point program that called for an immediate end of police brutality. It implored African Americans and justice for all. The Black Panthers were part of the larger Black Power movement, which emphasized Black pride, Black community, and Black unification for civil rights. They also helped the community by providing legal aid, education, free health care, and children programs. After investigation with the FBI, the party dissolved in 1982. The party influenced many people and activists around the world.
Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. We want Black power. 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 That's right. That's what we want. Black power.
Lord, Lord, where will I be tomorrow night? Yeah.
Women played a crucial role in the civil rights movement. Although overshadowed by the men of the movement, Black women were challenged, led, sacrificed, organized, and endured for the rights of African Americans. Black women were prevented from having visible roles in leadership and organizations, but continued to work in the background to uphold the movement. Though the contributions from notable male figures are important, women have always been on the forefront. They strategized and advocated despite violence, homelessness, unemployment, sexual assault, and even death. Women helped spark and were the backbone of the civil rights movement from small towns to national-led movements. The dedication of Black women helped gain civil rights.
That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and given the best place wherever. Nobody helps me into carriages, nor over the muddy patches, or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could best me ever. Ain't I a woman? I could work as hard and eat as much as a man when I could find it, and take the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most of them sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, no one but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman?
My skin is black,
is strong, strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow. My hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. Yeah. My father was rich and wide. He forced my mother late one night. So what do they call me? My name's Saffronia. Saffronia. My skin is tanned. My hair is fine. My hips might invite you, daddy. My mouth like wine. Who's little girl am I? Anyone who has money to burn. What do they call me? My name is Sweet Thing. Sweet Thing. My skin is brown. My manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see. Hey, my life has been rough. I'm awfully bitter these days because my parents were slaves. Ooh, what do they call me? Aunt Sarah. What do they call me? Saffronia. What do they call me? Sweet Thing. What do they call me? My name is Peaches. Yeah.
On November 4th, 2008, Senator Barack Obama became the first African American elected to be the 44th President of the United States. Not only was he the first black man, but he also was the youngest man in history to be elected. Obama was inaugurated on January 20th, 2009.
Book of Revelation, chapter 7, verses 16 and 17. Yes, sir. They shall hunger no more, neither shall they thirst anymore. Preach, preach out. For God shall wipe away, yes, sir, every tear from their eye. Yes, sir. Get ready for the revolution. Do you want a revolution? Say, do you want a revolution?
right hand and repeat after me. I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager.
Eric Garner's family calling for justice.
The death of Tamir Rice. That's the 12-year-old boy who was shot and killed by a Cleveland police officer.
Unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson, Missouri.
Sandra Bland was pulled over on the outskirts of Houston for failing to signal a lane change. The traffic stop quickly escalated.
Police officer shooting and killing Philando Castile during a traffic stop last year in Minnesota.
Officers in Aurora, Colorado stopped 23-year-old Elijah McClain.
Final moments of Ahmaud Arbery just before he was shot and killed by a father and son who said they were trying to make a citizen's arrest.
Tonight, we're learning disturbing new details from the night Louisville police shot and killed Breonna Taylor in her apartment.
George Floyd repeatedly told the officers that he could not breathe after an officer knelt on his neck.
I've been trying not to go off the deep end. Give me a reason. I've been trying not to
stay on point. I've been trying to see my voice, but y'all gave me no choice. The world gone mad, can't ignore the streets. Look at these people found dead in the streets. I got some pockets that hit the police. I'm just trying to hold on to my peace. Can't lose it and lose the peace. I need a reason, I need a season, I need a Jesus, I need a spirit. Like if you and what you believe, I need a trip. I need the cheese, what did I teach you? Singing a I know you get what I'm talking about. I need a reason to open my eyes. If I'm still breathing, I'm running from my eyes. I've been doing better than I was before. I walk with the lift 'cause I've been wrestling with the Holy Ghost. Deep into the spit, but still somehow I keep on floating. Thought I lost my grip, but God reminded me He's holding on.
go off the deep end. Give me a reason. I've been trying not to go off the deep end. Give me a reason. I've been trying not to. One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, oh.
Hands
the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, his spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Now the war is not over, victory isn't won, but we'll fight on to the finish, and then when it's all done, we'll cry glory, oh glory, we'll cry glory, oh glory.
Selma is now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
One day,